Podcast City Network.
And good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell podcast. It's Tuesday night, and my guest tonight is professional wrestling announcer, the one, the only, David Adams, and we're going to talk to him and see what he's up to and much, much more. Let's talk wrestling. Tune in right now, fans. Well, good evening, David. Good evening, David, and how are you?
Hello, is this the podcast?
What?
Hello, am I calling the podcast?
Is this David?
It was David Adams' cheap attempt at being a funny epic fail. What's up, bro? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. No, yeah, you're here. Okay, live. Yes, we're live. That's right. Good. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I appreciate you having me on. Talk a little wrestling.
Wrestling. Lots of wrestling talk. Did you just catch that all-in press conference on YouTube?
I did. It's a really monumental day for professional wrestling. A couple of those guys I've worked with earlier in their careers, and and I'm really happy for all the talent that signed. It's awesome, and I hope nothing for the best for all those guys. Because I think all elite wrestling is gonna be the big thing for 2019 and beyond.
Absolutely, yeah, because those guys have done it, and for all in, and they done that, and look what they did now. And look who's on the card. Look who's there already. We're still waiting the arrival of one name, Kenny Omega. We're still rumors waiting on the mill,
No, Kenny, he's earned the right for his privacy, and
I know.
He knows that you got to save the best for last.
But I'm curious who these guys from Japan. I am going to have to do some research. I don't know who the guys from Japan are coming. I don't know the team that they're.
Well, I believe they hyped up that they were actually from China.
Yeah.
A couple of them, and you know what? I think that they just kind of planted the seed, and now people are going to go on social media and do their research, and these guys are going to get super over before they even touch an AEW ring. And
yeah.
I think the way they did the press conference was perfect. It wasn't too long. It was just under an hour long.
Yeah.
They got the hype in, and they're doing it the right way. And honestly, I think this goes to prove that,
anything's possible.
Cody's going to try and get the last laugh when it's all said and done because, this was all, it was orchestrated by him and the Bucks, and
I know.
I'm happy for him because if they land that key cable channel like TBS or TNT, we're bringing it back old school, and that they're probably going to put their show on either Monday nights or Friday nights.
Yeah, that would be the process. You're right on that. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and then we're going to get a real like Monday night or Friday night like wars, depending on which night they want to battle Raw or SmackDown when SmackDown goes to Fox.
Yeah, and they go down the drain. Yeah.
Well, no, not go down the drain. I think it's good competition because mostly everybody has a DVR and everybody watches it like you're going to get to watch all the wrestling. It's not like, oh my God, if I miss this show.
Yeah.
It's not like 1997 where if you miss it and you didn't set your VCR, you're screwed.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to be watching both. I think everybody is.
I think we are. We're gonna be chained to it, and it's gonna be something
I'm a
interesting.
But I'm not trying to say I'm a fan, and
I know we're all fans. We're all fans of wrestling. Come on, so
And I like to see that people I consider friends are going to be making some good coin off of this.
And you know what? We know who our friends are in the business, so they're going to do good things, and we like that, And that's what.
Absolutely.
But what's going on with you, man? You have so many cards coming up. You're solidly stacked. You are like everywhere every week, David. It's like unbelievable.
Just trying to live the dream. I mean, certainly I'm not all elite, but
no,
that certainly is a goal to shoot for one day. But I'm certainly working the indie scene, trying to.
You know what? You get out there. I've seen you at a couple of shows. I never stopped and said hello, David. Like at a couple Ring of Honor or ROH Jersey All Pro shows.
Yeah.
Well,
what the heck?
I know.
My meet and greet is. I would have given you a discounted meet and greet price, David.
Oh well, all right. Well, next time I see you, okay? All right.
No, bro. In all seriousness, come by and say what's up. After doing this podcast tonight.
Yeah.
We're boys officially, so just come say what's up. Usually during a show, I'm so focused on...
I know your notes.
In my head that I'm not necessarily looking at all the faces.
No. But I'm always around. I'm going to try to get myself to that show in, February or May? I might do the bigger one. I don't know. I got some stuff coming up. I don't know. There's a lot of wrestling coming. A lot of good wrestling coming,
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. I just... announced a successful show for the Wild Samoans, WXWC4 in Allentown, that the company owned and run by WWE Hall of Famer, the great Samu. That was a wonderful show. For the show that lasted, we got about 3/4 of a show in before the show got shut down by the fire department.
Right.
Because there's a hot tag team on the scene that is literally making a reputation of just busting up wrestling shows the way bikers have been known to bust up bars, and that's sent to slaughter. Danny Moff and Sean Donovan.
Oh, good old Dan Moff. Good old Dan Moff. Man, he's still, he's still living.
They literally walked right in the door.
Yeah.
After the WXWC4 Elite Tag Team Champions,
right.
The GOAT, defended their titles against Black G's and Cortez Castro. Moff and Donovan just came in and just beat the holy snot out of them. And then one of the girls that's part of their clique, she's the women's champion over there, JF Cotto. She came in the ring and she stepped up to Moff, slapped him right in the face, and for her troubles, she turned her back to Donovan. She got super kicked right in the back of the head by Moff, and got hit with a DDT. So,
surprise! Surprise!
Safe,
it's always a surprise, You don't know. Damn
off. I'm just happy that I got out of there alive because my next show that I'm doing is for SWF Saturday, January 26th in Harlan, New Jersey at the Sayreville Emergency Squad. It's called Mass Casualty Incident.
Yes.
And on that show, guess who's booked?
Dan Moff.
Slaughter, Danny Moff, and Sean Donovan. And they're taking on a team that I think you know from CZW, The Rep.
Oh, The Rep. The Rep, yes.
Yeah, Nate Carter and Dave McCall. It's going to be one heck of a match because both these teams have already been signed June the 2nd for standalone wrestling, which is going to be the first ever wrestling show after the big convention that's happening that day.
I know.
And
it's a build.
Those two teams have been entered into a fatal 4-way tag team match where we're going to crown the first ever standalone wrestling tag team champions. So these two teams are going to lock horns months before they're locking horns for gold. So it's on, and this is a rivalry that I think is going to get
hot,
heated, and it's going to get deep. These guys are going to hate each other more than like itself.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of talent coming on. My God, there's so much talent coming. You got so many guys for the FWF, the SWF show, and also, what do you got? You got the After Dark is coming up. That's the big show. I mean, my God.
Sticking with the Mass Casualty Incident show on January 26th, we partner up with our friends at Modern Vintage Wrestling.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in in Michael Elgin to battle the modern vintage wrestling champion, Joey Lynch, in a non-title match. But if you haven't seen either of these two guys,
I've seen Elgin live at Beyond Wrestling. Yes, he's out there. Yes, he.
And this is just January.
I know.
We're gonna have the big heel Craig Steele taking on Mr. No Limits Chris Banks on that card.
Mm-hmm.
We've already talked about Santa Slaughter versus the Ref in an FWF Showcase match.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be a Survivor Series style rules match where you're going to have Team Astroland made up of Astro Morales, Vinny Chenzo.
Oh, Vinny.
The body Lugo.
Yeah. Vinny.
And
Vinny's been around. I know Vinny pretty old. Been around the world. I know him. He's been out there. Yeah, I miss him.
And Dominic Truex, Big Dom Truex, they're going to take on Team Core, which is the SWF World Tag Team Champion, Steve Monster Mac and Magic, along with Sebastian Cage and Tommy the Moose. I mean, it's going to be a good Survivor Series 8-man tag team match.
Wow. I'd say I'd be there live, but I'm going to actually be in Florida that weekend. I am going to be actually attending a podcast party, Podcast City Network 1-year anniversary, and we have a special guest coming in, the one and only J.J. McGuire, the one who wrote all the WWF music from the back in the day. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, one more match that you're going to see on that SWF Mass Casualty Incident. There's an ambulance match. You may have heard of a man known as the Franchise, Shane Douglas.
Yes, the Franchise.
That's right. The Franchise is taking on a young man that I have seen grow in this business, and he's become one of the most dangerous, violent men on the scene, Brandon Kirk. This is one heck of a matchup.
My God, Brandon Kirk is on a rise. He's been
Brandon Kirk stepping up.
Yes.
Him versus Shane Douglas, and the only way to win is you got to throw your opponent into the back of an ambulance and slam the door shut.
Oh,
that just tells you how incapacitated you got to get your opponent.
You got to slam that door shut really tight. Make sure. That's crazy.
I mean, that's going to be one heck of a show. Like I said, if anybody's listening right now, January 26th, Fayetteville Emergency Squad in Harlan, New Jersey. Doors open at 6, bell times at 7, www.bethetrifecta.com. And a lot of people are like, what is the trifecta? The trifecta is simply 3 companies coming together as one. We've talked about them, SWF Live, Standalone Wrestling, and as you mentioned minutes ago, Pro Wrestling After Dark.
Yeah, and also don't forget about the school. Don't forget about the Trifecta School, right? That's also
the Trifecta Academy will be open for business once again April the 13th.
Yeah.
That'll be on the same day as Mega Slam. That's going to be a good one there, but April the 13th starting at 8 a.m., over 15 different companies are getting involved, and it's $35. And it's not just this is not a money grab. This is an affordable way for young talent that's looking to get their name out there to show up, have a fair tryout, have a fair assessment. It's not a place where they're going to blow smoke up your ass and say, "Oh, you did a good job." If you did good, they're going to tell you what's up. If you didn't do something good, that's the most important stuff. Is learning to take that criticism, and if you didn't do good, use that and go back to training, and then further yourself by
studying. Keep on studying and until you get your name out there. Until you get your name out there. Until they get.
I mean, we have tons of talent that are
I know.
The next couple shows that did really well at the tryout, and they're going to get their opportunity to be spotlighted. And also, Trifecta TV, a YouTube series, is going to be coming to YouTube, obviously, and they're going to take clips of older SWF shows. We're going to take shows. We're going to break them down into episodes, and we're going to relive the matches from the vault. And as this grows bigger and bigger, you're going to see the more updated matches also on future episodes of Trifecta TV.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a good networking opportunity.
That's the way to do it. That's what we want. I know people don't realize that's the way to do it. It's a marketing. You need to market and get it out there, and people don't realize and see what's out there. Fans need to see what's out there, and
like I said,
local promotions. I mean, come on. We live in the Jersey. I live in the Jersey Shore. Come on. Where do you see wrestling? Everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can be, very, it can be very concentrated in certain areas. But that's where I think companies need to step up, and they need to realize, all right, if there's 4 different shows running in a 50-mile radius, what can I do to make my show stand out?
Yeah.
What can I do? Sometimes you can't, it's not necessarily the shows that bring in the big-name talent that get the biggest draws.
No.
If you can get an emotional connection with your crowd, with with the talent there, actually having that connection, that's going to want to make people spend the $10, $15, $20, $25 or whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on that, and you get a good, get a great crowd, and you get a good autograph, and you go home happy. Picture with a wrestler, you're happy as a fan. Kids are in awe. And
yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be in the business right now, and it's a great time to be a fan of the business. Because there's so many opportunities popping up around the indies, and now these upper tier shows that are popping up. I just think, all eyes are on wrestling at all times, and these bigger league companies, it's just like baseball, the major leagues, where they get their talent from the proverbial farm systems.
Yep.
And let's face it, the independent wrestling scene is the proverbial farm system of the major leagues of wrestling. It's the same concept.
So let me ask you this, David. So what made you get into announcing? What made you start your career in announcing? How did you get involved with that? And
Well, I've always taken a liking to the announcer, even starting back with the days of Howard Finkel, Mean Gene Okerlund, may he rest in peace.
Yes. I was going to say you were privileged to meet him, and you must have been an honor to meet the one and only Mean Gene.
It was an honor, and it's one of those things.
Yeah.
You got to cherish every moment in life because you never know in this world. And working in this business, I have been blessed to work with a lot of talent that I idolized growing up watching on television. Right. And as I've matured in the business, it's not that I'm marking out for them, as people say.
No.
It's more or less an honor that they, as I've grown my announcing, they don't just treat me as just, some dude. They treat me as a peer, as a professional. And that's been the most rewarding thing for me working with my idols is it's not like a kid waiting for an autograph. It's me working with these guys, and, it's just two dudes in an office, basically, and, we're here for the same goal to entertain the fans, and everybody has their job on a show, and it's been the most rewarding experience to earn the respect of my peers and my idols, and I'm just going to keep on working my butt off and take it as far as I can go. But I mean, I wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
I wrestled in 8th grade. I started in 8th grade, which was a late start. I wrestled in high school. I didn't suck, but I wasn't great. I wasn't good enough. By the time I got to be a senior, I wasn't good enough for varsity, and I kind of was good enough for JV. And, 4 years of high school, and I had 2 varsity matches. I've told this to other podcasts. My record on varsity was 1-1. I lost the one match by what's called a technical fall, 18-3. But I went the full 6 minutes. It was literally me trying to stay off my back when the buzzer sounded. The guy that beat me, I'm tall and skinny. This guy was short, no neck. Ended up placing 3rd place in the state later that year. Right. So I survived him. And then my only victory on varsity came to the high school version of the Invisible Man. I won by forfeit because they didn't have anybody in my weight class. So I went out there and got my arm raised in front of the home crowd, and I got the overzealous cheers from the crowd. And that was it. But I don't know. Over the years, I've always just I always admired the announcers. I liked that they got to dress really nice, and they got to be the voice of the action before the action even took place. Even as a little kid, I mean, I was the kid in the mirror with the hairbrush and the bottle of shampoo, and I was the shampoo, either a shampoo or the brush was my microphone.
Right.
I used to set my stuffed animals and Cabbage Patch Kids up, and that would be my audience. I was a single child and didn't have a lot of friends, so hey, there you go. Gotta, and I just, I always used to scream and yell to the point where in the apartment complex I once lived in, I could hear the neighbors banging on the wall to be quiet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's always something I wanted to do. And then as I got older, I became the guy at the parties. We'd be drinking beer in my buddy's basement, and they'd be like, yo, do that announcing thing. And I'd be like, and that was the game. I would say, all right, pick a stipulation, pick 2 wrestlers, and I'll announce.
Yeah.
They'd be like, they'd be like Stone Cold, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, announce it now. And I would be the guy all like pissed drunk and drinking beers, and I would do it. And then be like, dude, you're actually pretty good. And then I don't know, I grew the confidence to
go out. To go out to a place.
Wanting to be in the business and then actually being accepted getting into the business are two totally different elements. It's quite a tight knit circle of brothers and sisters. So
absolutely.
I found it's quite difficult to crack the shell. But once I crack the shell, you get it a little bit, and then you just gain trust over the years, and you get more and more responsibility. They trust you with bigger name talent, stuff like that. You know, man, it's just one of those things. Thank goodness for social media. I mean, I to this day I get rejected 3 times as much as I get bookings, but you know.
It's a business. It's a business, and you move on. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, wise people in the business, like a brutal Bob Evans, he's always giving advice. You know, he's like, you should always try and network to a couple promotions every day. Don't worry about getting rejected. Guys like that. He to this day gives so much good advice just on his Facebook Live feeds and stuff like that. And it's always stay confident. And to this day, I always try and throw my name out there to maybe 3 to 5 promotions a day, and I'll either get no sold or I'll get a thumbs down or I'm sorry, David, we currently have somebody, but and I'm never mad. I'm like, keep me in mind for the future because you never know. Hey, this guy hit us up. Our announcer is sick. Maybe we can use him. So I mean, it's
and they're always thirsty, and there's always guys out there that are looking for new guys, and you know, like
I mean, it's a competitive market. There's a lot less announcers on the show than wrestlers, and I mean, over the past couple of years, there's been quite a good handful or two of.
And you're willing to travel, and that's the plus, too. You're willing to travel.
Yeah, willing to travel,
you know,
and do a good job and do what you're told. I mean, it never hurts to offer to help, you know, in other ways. I mean, they know that if I'm at a show, whatever rate I ask for, you're going to get a ring announcer. If you need me on commentary, I'm there. If you need me to ring the bell, I'm there. Sometimes backstage, you know, somebody needs to like a message to be relayed to somebody at a vendor table, and it's kind of a rule. Wrestlers backstage, you know, unless you're told so, you're not supposed to just go walk around.
No.
That's why sometimes you'll see guys with towels on their head to hide their face. But I'll be like, no problem, give me the message, and I'll go and I'll relay a message. So I think it's important for anybody listening, especially young ones in the business, always be that yes man that's willing to do what's asked of you within reason, and I think you'll be in good shape because. Sometimes it's just nice to be polite and be a human being. It's not kissing ass or anything like that.
No.
Sometimes it's just good to go the extra mile. And things like that, I think, you know, can make you stand out. Because, you know, there's lots of announcers, there's lots of referees.
There are.
Tons of wrestlers. But what makes you stand out at the end of the night?
That you did your job by announcing the wrestler and popping to the crowd, you know, and getting that little, you know, the boost that they needed to see. You know,
but all the little things behind the scenes, I don't need any kudos for.
No,
all the promoters that I've worked with, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Whatever they need done, I'm right there for them.
It's like me, man. I'm a, you know, look at me, like I'm a podcaster. You know, this is awesome. Like you need people like me on the East Coast. You know, wrestling, independent wrestling is hot, and we need to promote it, and that's the way to do it. You know,
no doubt, man. I just can't wait. I have a nice. Slow January, which is the calm before the storm. I only have 2 shows in January, but then once February hits, it's going to be like pow, 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 dominoes.
And then April, don't forget WrestleMania weekend's hot too.
Well, we'll skip to that right now because I'm proud to work for a company called House of Glory Wrestling.
Yes, they are awesome, and I always like to watch a lot of their stuff. They're always doing.
Amazing.
They are.
I can't thank Amazing Red and Brian Excel enough.
Yes.
I mean, for 8 years now, I've been there. I've been the ring announcer. I mean, I've missed maybe a handful of shows in 5 years. When I say handful, maybe 4 or 5 shows in 8 years. And these guys have given me a platform to work with some of the best talent in the world. And it's a A+ wrestling academy that does. You know, they don't just teach you; they teach you the right way. And a lot of these homegrown talents are coming out of there as top name stars. I mean, at their 8-year anniversary show that just happened in December, HOG 8, the main event, they entrusted their main event to 2 homegrown talents, Cash Flow Ken Broadway and Murder by Kicks Matt Travis. They were the main event.
Mm-hmm.
It was a feud of former brothers turned arch rivals,
Yeah.
and they settled that feud inside of a steel cage. And to say that these guys absolutely killed it is an understatement. These guys took that platform, they took that spotlight, and these guys courageously went out there and put on an amazing performance that had a little bit of everything to it. Ken Broadway walked out victorious, and what a way to end his 2018. Earlier that year, he accepted the open challenge of then Impact Wrestling world champion Austin Aries.
Yeah.
He took Austin Aries to the limit for about 15 to 20 minutes. It was for the Impact Wrestling World title. Austin Aries barely escaped that match with the win and his title intact. And I knew right then and there that Ken Broadway was willing to step up to any challenge.
Yeah, because he's that guy that he's out there, and he knows what he could do. You know,
he's a great talent, and he's been trained the right way, and he's respectful. And I consider him a friend in the business, and I love the fact that he's open about he hates all the political BS, he hates people that kiss butt, and he believes that you earn your opportunities with hard work. And I couldn't agree more. That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. But now we got a lot of
House of Glory that weekend. Yeah, I mean they've got 2 shows going on. Thursday, April the 4th, they're teaming up with Impact Wrestling to have a House of Glory Impact Wrestling split branded show from the NYC Arena, aka Club Amazora in Jamaica, New York, and then also, and that's going to be an 8 p.m. bell time.
Yeah.
And then, basically, what's good? Culture Clash 2019. This is going to be one of the biggest events of the weekend. To allow the fans the opportunity to see all the shows going on during the weekend, House of Glory graciously moved their event to Saturday afternoon, April the 6th, a 12 noon start.
Yeah.
This way, fans aren't blocked from not seeing one show versus another with all the changes to the schedules. And, I mean, already announced for Culture Clash, probably the biggest name to ever come out of Japan, the Great Muda is coming over here.
The Great Muda. My God.
And then we have the Japanese buzzsaw Tajiri coming over.
Oh man.
I mean, that's just two names
that are like hot, that are like legends of the ring. It's like, yes, they are ones that have been around, and my God, they could ECW to, it's like, wow. Tajiri we know really well from the ECW era, and I remember going, I was at the One Night Stand Part 2 in New York City for that, when I saw him in the ring, and I was like, this is awesome. It's great to see a true legend in the ring,
And I'm also excited. I've never seen him live, but apparently he is one of the best, quote-unquote, comedy guys in the business, like a funny man. Kikutaro, this guy...
he was just at, I think, Game Changers, Dynasty.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Kikutaro is going to make his House of Glory debut that afternoon at Culture Clash 2019.
My God. Yeah, he's a...
HOGWrestling.net for tickets and information. The address of the venue is 9112 100 44th Place in Jamaica, New York, 11435. That Jamaica is in Queens, and it's a great venue. They've done lots of MMA events there. They do concerts in that venue, and it's just a great venue to experience pro wrestling and experience the way that House of Glory sets the ring up. They have the Japanese-style entranceway. The lighting is phenomenal, and the staff there is great, and our locker room is a real tight-knit locker room, and should be really a great event there. And House of Glory is looking forward to having 2 huge shows on WrestleMania weekend, so it's definitely going to be an honor to perform for fans from all 50 states and dozens of countries around the world.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's about. All different countries. Just think about it. Fans going to pile into the city just to come, New York and New Jersey just to see wrestling, They could go.
And
it's.
I live for stuff like this. It's going to be amazing. I mean, Brian Excel and Amazing Red, they've outdone themselves with House of Glory, and House of Glory is entering that stage where they're just as well known as any of these big companies out there, and a lot of people, everyone's got eyes on us, looking for a booking. Fans coming from all over. I mean, we've had Mike Johnson from PW Insider at our shows at least twice that I can remember, maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to him. I like always reading his stuff. Shout out to him. He's a great news source, and people don't realize that. Good news, media. That's what we like, the news. Great people like that, and there's tons of people that we know in the business. It's like, wow, it's great. I might have to hit him up for a convo. Podcast. Probably would be hard to do it. But so you have a lot coming up. Lot.
Yeah, I mean, I just trying to bounce it in my head, but I mean, it's going to be good, man. I mean, I hope to see you at a couple of the events.
Absolutely, yeah. You'll see me soon. You'll see me after I come back from January's event in Florida, Daytona. Daytona. I can't wait.
We already talked about mass casualty incident on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's in Allentown on February 2nd, the fallout from Danny Moss and Sean Donovan's destruction, the show is appropriately called Shutdown. There's a poster that shows the fire truck right on there that shuts the show down.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Moss and Sean Donovan sent to slaughter. They're going to get their WXW C4 Elite World Tag Team title opportunity against the Absolute Chris Cage and Superstar Whiplash, two members of the GOAT, known as the Zoltan. They are the longest reigning WXW C4 World Tag Team champions. At this point, they got to be over 540 days as champions, and certainly they got decimated on Saturday after retaining their titles, and I'm sure that they have visions of redemption on their mind. And the match that the fans were about to see when the Fire Patrol and the cops shut it down, you're going to see a Falls Count Anywhere match between the WXW C4 Ultimate Heavyweight Champion, Lance the Future Anawai, the third-generation Samoan Dynasty standout. He puts his Ultimate Heavyweight title on the line against the Iron Outlaw, John West, who is the WXW C4 Hybrid Champion, which is basically the equivalent of like a Cruiserweight Champion in most other companies. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be title for title, so it's going to be one guy walking out with both titles. It was a match that was originally scheduled for fans bringing weapons. With the cops and the Fire Patrol coming, I think they just made it Falls Count Anywhere. So this way, if the building gets closed down, guess what? They're going to take the fight to the parking lot.
They will. They will.
I think that's how we guarantee that match happens. So that's going to be February 2nd from the Mountainville Sports Center.
But don't forget, we have there's a lot of ladies on the cards too. Don't forget about that. We got to shout out to the ladies. We talking about a lot of the men. Let's talk about some of the women we got coming. Coming on these cards.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, at SWF coming up at SWF on Saturday, February 9th, the Great Awakening. It's their 8-year anniversary show. Mm-hmm. We've got the Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux, taking on courageous Christina Marie. That should be one heck of a matchup. Yeah, absolutely,
100% for that one. People don't got to see that one for themselves. I would love to see that one.
No, it's definitely going to be a good time.
And then what else we have? We saw an update for Priscilla, somebody coming in. I think Priscilla.
Priscilla Kelly, the young lady who's talking after Tampon incident 2019.
Yes.
The girls. Yeah, I mean, I in this case, I'm not going to judge it with my opinion because I don't think my opinion means crap.
No.
As far as getting her name out there, even if it's a short-term buzz.
Yes.
This opens the door for her for some short-term opportunities.
Sure.
And then it's her responsibility as a professional to keep those doors open for more longer-term opportunities. So from a professional standpoint,
yeah.
I give her kudos for making herself stand out. It certainly was extreme, and certainly she will more than likely be in some kind of a hardcore match moving forward.
I don't want to know what that's going to be like, though.
It was definitely a bold move on her part. I respect it.
I hope there's no bats. I hope there's no bats with Tampa.
Yeah, everybody loves the tuna. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's over. So.
they got it. Yeah, so but Joey Ryan also I saw in one of the flyers. My God, he's after an injury. He's been out for so long. He's coming back to the ring. I'm glad. You know, I saw him.
Absolutely. You were talking about Pro Wrestling After Dark. They have a show called The Shit Show coming up on Friday, February 8th. Some of the matches on that card, we have Violence, the viral villain Violence taking on Ike Phillips, and then we also have Anthony Gangone, the reigning House of Glory World Champion, taking his persona to Pro Wrestling After Dark 2 to take on Oraculo. Should be one interesting matchup there, to say the least.
Yeah.
That show, like you said, it's got Joey Ryan on it. It's got the lovely Melissa Santos. It's got Brian Cage, Max Stardom, the Fat Apple Matt McIntosh, International Swerve, Shane Swerve Strickland is on there.
Yes, Shane.
Sonny Kiss, the standalone wrestling heavyweight champion, Pro Wrestling Maniac Joe Gacy's on that card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's absolutely a loaded show, to say the least. I'm reading it as I'm going down here, making sure I'm not missing anybody on this. I mean, it's just a stacked show.
It really is.
It's
like it's gonna be a good one. That's what I'm gonna try to push to go to.
Joey Ryan versus Sonny Kiss, Scarlett Bordeaux versus Christina Marie, also at Pro Wrestling After Dark. We're gonna have the Trifecta Championship on the line. Frankie Picard, the Trifecta Champion, can defend the title on any of the three brands, SWF, Standalone Wrestling, as well as Pro Wrestling After Dark. And they've already said the Trifecta title, they're going to let other companies defend the title, a good way to network companies and get the title and the name of the champion out there. That's Frankie Picard's the champion, taking on the Hitman for Hire, Mr. Grimm, taking on one of the young men that really, really impressed everybody at the SWF tryout, Blackstrom. This guy, he's definitely one to be reckoned with in 2019. There's going to be an intergender match. Jimmy Lloyd taking on Miranda Aliz. It'll be definitely an interesting one. A fatal four-way show stealer, Shane Strickland taking on Smiley, taking on the Ace of Spades, Ace Austin, taking on Mr. All the Way Up, Max Stardom. That should be good. In addition, I'm seeing here Logan Black taking on John Wayne Murdoch.
Yes, John Wayne Murdoch, the one, the rejects, one and a half of the rejects. My gosh, that guy's fans you don't know.
I mentioned Brian Cage and Joe Gacy earlier. Well, those two are actually facing each other on that show. Brian Cage is Joe Gacy, the standalone wrestling champion.
My God, that's going to be a fire match. That's going to be a match of the night.
Yeah.
Call it.
And also, I'll tell you what, another match I just missed. The Fat Apple Matt McIntosh taking on Serpentico. That should be one heck of a match. Those are two gentlemen that were 2/3 of the triple threat match to crown the first ever Trifecta champion. Frankie Picard was the other third of that match. Frankie Picard won the match, and that's why he's the champion. So certainly Matt McIntosh and Serpentico would love nothing more to face each other one more time and get right back in the rankings of the Trifecta title, possibly the standalone wrestling championship, SWF Live heavyweight title. The possibilities are absolutely endless.
Absolutely, 100. Yep, absolutely. But you know what, David? On a note, let's call it a night. This was really fun. I really appreciate you being on.
Yeah, I definitely had a good time. Am I going to keep you up past your bedtime? What the heck?
I got to go to work, at 6 a.m., so I got to go to bed, all right? I'm a garbage man, all right? I got to take the garbage, take care of the town, clean it up a little.
Sanitation engineer, thank you very much.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. Make the money, brother. But in all seriousness, thank you for the opportunity. I'd love to do it again. I could talk wrestling all night long.
We could talk. I know. We could talk probably hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. I've done that before.
Well, this has been David Adams, and you're listening to Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast. And there's a little drop for you. And
feel free to plug anything you want. Plug away.
Well, you've been kind enough to put my poster up next to Mean Gene Okerlund with all my plugs. But, yeah, Facebook.com/DavidAdams.ringannouncer on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram, David_Adams_ringannouncer on Instagram. And the Twitter handle is Voice of the Ring. And certainly reach out to me. I'm always accepting bookings, voiceover work, and I'll be happy to get your talent over any way possible. And just happy to have opportunities, happy to be in the wrestling business.
Thank you again, David. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Thank you, brother. Take care. Good night.
I want to thank my guest, David, for being on tonight. That was a real honor to talk to him. He's really one of those guys, fans, you got to check him out. Go see him at a lot of shows. He does House of Glory, he does SWF, and Standalone Wrestling, After Dark Wrestling, the Trifecta, just so many other wrestling companies. He's just all over the place. And, he does an amazing job in the ring by announcing all the wrestlers. You'd be amazed in person. Go out and say hello to him. He's a great person. Check him out on his social media, like you said. And fans, check out Standalone Wrestling. Check out SWF. Check out Pro Wrestling After Dark. And check out House of Glory. Thank you for listening and have a good night.
Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level, a symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code DeathmatchRussellPodcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media. DeathmatchRussell.com. Follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32. And on Facebook, Facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at PodcastCity.net. Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. You can hear Deathmatch Russell podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.